Hello, everybody. We are here and it is House of Fate time. Hello, Maria, Christina, Jane, of course, Marlies. Hi, Brant, Diana, Stacy, Dorcia, Facebook user. I don't see your name there, so I apologize that I don't say it. I'm going to need a couple of willing, hi Annette, a couple of willing people who would actually like the House of Fate done for their life. The reason I like this spread is because it is a 2-year prediction. It is a spread where the 2 years can actually change, and you see that in your cards as well. And it's one that actually hits on everything. Hi, I'm Marlies, Diana, Yuri, Karen, Farah, and the amazing Maria, of course. Hi, Rowan. Hi, Gerda, Yuri. If you do want to read from me, there are a couple of things I actually need. I need to know if you have any children. If so, how many? And I also need to know from the spread which areas are actually of major interest to you. If you look at the spread on your screen now, you see that it covers a whole heap of different things that are going on in your life: work, projects, finances, wealth, inheritance, lottery, you know, all the money on the bottom row. And then we have the love and relationships across the second floor, if you like. And then on the top, things to do with ourselves, how well we are actually doing, what we will lose within the time scale, and also unexpected things, things that we are not expecting to happen. The spread itself, like I say, is quite self-explanatory. There are different ways that you can read the House of Fate spread. I'm going to run through my favorite way, and we are going to see, obviously, if you look at the attic, you also have an overall theme for your read. So even if you come to me and say, I really want to know about work, and then the overall theme shows love, then there are aspects of that that we will take out from the read as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through it, time permitting, with Lenormand, Kipper cards, Gypsy cards. I don't know if I'll get through to all 3 systems, but the application is as I go through. And if you want to go through it with tarot as well, feel free to do tarot. It's really applicable to any system that you want to work with. So I'll have a look through your comments here. Yeah, StreamOn likes you today, Karen. We all want one. 0 children and 4 cats. Wow. I don't know if we have any cat places. We'd have to do child 1 and child 2 for your cat places. Let me see if I can work through these. I'm going to take the most comprehensive comment that is first, that makes life easiest for me. And I think Gerda's put everything in that I asked for: married, 1 child, inheritance, well-being, projects, and all the unexpected. Okay, so I'm going to put that on my screen just so I remember. I will do more afterwards. I am going to switch my camera. Excuse me. I'll switch my camera to the overhead so you can see me as I work. And we'll go through the House of Fate. The first thing you need is your men and women or your partner cards open on your deck. I will use Lenormand for the first one, because most of you will have seen me doing it with Kipper already. You lay your man and woman at the bottom. Preferably, if you have a deck where they look at one another, you have them facing one another, so they're looking at each other as they lay. And I may need to move the comment, won't I? So you can all actually see what I am doing. So Gerda is married. She has one child, which means we don't use the child 2 room of the house. And we start laying this spread at the bottom. So we start laying on the ground floor of our spread. And we lay, move it down, work, projects, finances, wealth, inheritance, lottery, and then we have love, relationships, family, child 1, we miss out child 2, then friends, health, well-being, loss, unexpected, unexpected, and unexpected. And then we have the attic card, which is our time scale and also our major theme. And then we have cards left over in our deck. And this is why I asked the particular ones that you are the most interested. And Gerda said inheritance, well-being, projects, and unexpected. Okay, so we do inheritance. What was the next one? I've forgotten already. Well-being. Well-being, projects. And what else do we have? And all of the unexpected. And we still have leftovers at the top if we want to delve into more information. So like I said, this is set at 2 years. The card at the top is your overall theme, but it also shows you an indication of whether the time scale that you have of the set 2 years is actually going to be longer than that or shorter than that. If we turn this over, we see ship. So we see that the majority of this is going to happen quite quickly, and the overall theme is movement. Can also be commerce, of course. So as we'll go through the spread, we'll look into that in more depth and take each one into account as we run through. So if we look at work for Gerda, we have changes coming up, and Gerda's already told us that there's major life changes coming up. Projects, we have our 2 cards, and we have garden and clouds. And that will suggest that although work is changing, when it comes to the projects that she's working on, it's probably not really work related. The projects are probably more on a personal basis or with her close circle, and they're the ones that cause her the most stress within the time scale, or the most trouble within the time scale. Finances are struggling. Wealth. Oh, we have the wealth card in there. The difference between the finances and the wealth house is that your finances are the things that you deal with on a daily basis, whereas wealth is how well off you are in the period. So Gerda probably in the period will have a decent amount of money in her bank, but she will have a lot of outgoings with mice. Inheritance. There is going to be an element of inheritance, which is income that comes in from inheritance, for example, or what one does with inheritance. As we have crossroads and clover there, I would say it's going to be split. So if there is inheritance expected, then it's going to be split between a few parties. We'll see the cards either side of crossroads to see what that means. Lottery and moon. So it's actually going to be a win for Gerda in that respect. The inheritance that is coming in and the look of the money that's coming in is actually something that she can actually work with. And it's going to be split between her wealth and lottery. So when we speak of inheritance, some of it will be what's owed to her, but also some of it will be what's earned by her in that respect. In love, we have Sun, which is awesome. So we have a growth as far as relationships are concerned. Relationships. Lily, very satisfactory relationships. Lily's probably the best card apart from Heart that one would want to see in a relationship square, because it means that ultimate family satisfaction, especially with Sun next to it in growth, growing in the love area. And then we have family. Again, great card to have in the family area. I would suggest, Gerda, that you have parts of your family that are super happy for this wealth that is on the horizon for you, but also there are a few of them that are slightly envious at your situation. Child 1, we have Fox. So remember, we have the cards left over at the end. If Gerda was sat opposite me and she wanted to know more detail about what Fox was, then we would lay an extra few cards on top, which we can absolutely do. If you want me to, Gerda, just put it in the comments. So something wrong with the first child. And friends, a lot of communication with friends. You'll see I'm running through it quite quickly, because then we'll do an overall synopsis at the end. So health, we have some health situations that will unfold as the 2 years come on. Again, if that's something that Gerda wanted to know more about, we still have the extra deck. Well-being, mountain, and ring. I would suggest from that, because we have such good cards in love and relationship, etc., I would suggest this is more a commitments with the mountain card. So there are commitments. If you look at this one as well, and I said there are some people that may be envious of Gerda. If you look at the mountain card with ring, you can suggest there's actually some difficulty in getting some people to do stuff or actually show that appreciation for what Gerda's life is actually going to be. Now, this is the lost card. This is what will be lost in the time period shown. And we have Heart. And I wouldn't suggest it is love, because we have amazing cards in love and relationships. So I'm not suggesting at any point that love is lost. A sense of well-being is lost. And if we link that to the well-being of mountain and ring, I would suggest that hurts a little bit. She has to let go of things that she loves. If the great changes here that are coming in, there may be some things that Gerda has to leave behind with the Heart. Some things that she holds dear having to be let go. I will just check the comments. Gerda, yes, please, as there are some worries with child. Okay. Yes, his family will all be together if all works out, all generations. Wow. Okay. So let's have a look at the unexpected. And the unexpected forms a story. There you go. There's your child. And news regarding child. Hard work and direction. Key and house. If you are having a house move, Gerda, I would suggest that the unexpected are that child is not 100% sold on the situation. They may hold things dear that they are losing too. And it will be a little bit of a graft for you to get them on board with this move or whatever changes that are happening. It will be a little bit of difficulties in getting child to move in the same direction. It's going to be hard to get that positivity on the same levels as what you are. You know, you have your excitement for things, but child only sees what they're leaving behind with this heart and loss next to them. So I would suggest that the wrongness of the fox under child is actually really just showing the ultimate insecurities of a child within times of big change. What we do then when we have all the cards out is we form a synopsis of it before we actually hit on any extras that we're looking for in the situation. So what we can suggest to Gerda is there is a huge move with ship and stock change that's coming ahead to you, and in the realms of work as well, projects, etc. It is a really big change of direction that's coming in. You will have a decent influx of cash within the time scale shown, but there will be a lot of finances outgoing. And there are a lot of people who are wanting in on that money as well, with Bear over it, because, you know, Bear is that person who is envious of what you got, sees what you have, and wants a piece of it. So your overall situation during the period is that you're probably really excited about it, but you are struggling with all the things that it entails. It probably hits on your own well-being in that you struggle with losing the things that you love. Even though it's an exciting opportunity, you still feel that you're letting go. I mean, it's like moving from Munich to here, for example. I couldn't wait to move here, but there's still parts of the town of Munich, the land of Munich, the atmosphere within Munich city centre, for example, that I really miss. I miss speaking German. Things that you love, but you let go of them because you're really excited about the new chapter coming forth. I will just have a quick look at what you are writing. Yes, she's not sold on it. She misses friends, absolutely. That's the main issue for her. And that's shown here in that. The good thing about this, Gerda, is that the ship falls into the major theme. It means that these changes are happening, that business is rolling in a matter of change. But the good thing about it is the ship is a really quite fast acting card. So these changes that we're seeing here, I would put down to way less than the 2-year timescale that we usually look at with this spread, and probably only into the first 6 months of the year if we dial it back using the ship card as the reference to the 2 years. It's a lot less than 2 years with the ship card. So let's have a look. What these cards are made for is then the difficult cards, like we said about child and fox. If fox came up, I would take more information. I don't necessarily need to, because it's become pretty clear with child hitting up on the unexpected. I would actually from that take a few. I'm not saying there's going to be tantrums, but there will be times at which the daughter in this case does have a little bit of a downer, Debbie Downer, on the whole thing. So I'm going to, these are all pretty positive. The projects and garden, I'm going to lay some more cards, and I'll lay 3 extra on here. And if you look on the project side of things, we have garden, clouds, cross, anchor, and whip. Now, if you look at that as the base card in the card of projects, we can suggest that this is about like I said, a more personal project than a work project. It's more about bringing people together. And as Gerda said, the whole family will be together, different generations of Lily above, interesting. And that with clouds over it then said, well, it's not going to be as easy or as smooth a transition as one would want. There are parts of it that actually aren't as perfect as one would like as we go through the process of change. However, you do have Anchor hitting in the mix. Anchor is our goal card. Anchor is the card that we want to achieve and get to. So there's a sense of actually getting everybody together. Finally, everybody's coming together. But an adjustment phase will be needed with WIP, which, you know, is probably very reflectant on a heart and letting go of those things that we want to hold on to, but we can't take everything with us. So, oh, the timescale's also planned in 6 months. Well, there you go. That's what I would hit on with. I don't take the ship as 3 months, for example, with it being the card for the number 3. I dial it back from the 2 years. And if it was a year, for example, I would give the 3 months. But with me dialing it back from 2 years, I take it as a 6-month scenario. So I'm going to do the same. If anybody has commented in one post that is comprehensive and easy for me to look through. Oh, it's 8 months. Sorry, I've got my glasses on. I have got my glasses on, I promise. I will put me on just while I have a look. If anybody else has, somebody asked if there were instructions. This can be found in my book, The Card Geek's Guide to Kipper. It is which I'll put up now. This is also available in the group for you to download. If you just go to guides, and then why do you have the man and woman on each side? You can actually lay cards on top of the man and woman. I didn't need to. I would have done it with the end cards. I actually didn't need to in this because the spread was so self-explanatory that there was no need to. And I tend to do that more in Kipper than I do with Lenormand, but obviously you can do it with Lenormand too. I will do one with Kipper now and show you in that. Hi Garth, it's lovely to see you. Let's see who else. So what I need from you, if you can put it at the bottom, then it's easier for me. What I need from you is whether you have, if you want to read, whether you have children and how many, what aspects of that spread really interest you for a 2-year prediction. And I will run through one with Kipper. So if you can do that all in one post for me, it makes my life super easy. So again, if you want one, I need to know if you have children. I need to know which of those aspects you are interested in. So Christina says, 1 child, married, all about the unexpected. We all like the unexpected. Okay, I will put my other camera on and we'll do it with Kipper this time. Okay. So for Christina, somebody asked me how I learn houses. It's the same for anything, whether you do the master method, you can print it out and have it next to you, or you can just do it so many times that you know the houses. So Christina, a 2-year prediction for Christina. And again, I'm going to start at the bottom with, work projects, finances, wealth, inheritance, lottery, love, relationships, family, child. Did you have children? Let me see. Sorry, let me find you. Christina. One child. So child one, we miss out child two. Friends, health, well-being, loss, unexpected, 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 attic card. And we have our extras there. Now, if you want a precise or a focus on these two together, you can pull two cards for either side and see how they meet in the middle and how they agree on all of this. And we wanted extra unexpected cards, and then we'll leave some in the deck for anywhere that requires more information. So in house one, we're looking at work. Let me just check what Christina's post was again. All about the unexpected, that's fine. So work, we have house. And house is actually a successful card as far as work's concerned. It's actually, it can obviously mean a homemaker or somebody that stays at home or someone who works from home. But it's also a very decent, successful card and shows an almost status quo in the working position. I should have turned over the attic card because we want to know our time scale. And we're working on 2 years. And his thoughts. And his thoughts is very much leaving it to the 2 years. So we're not going to be changing the 2 years. We're going to stick with the 2 years. His thoughts is also, as a general theme, something that's very much about the thought process. We could see along here like planning coming on, but we'll bear that in mind as we go on. So projects, living room. Well, that's really interesting. So work and projects are very much tied to home. I mean, this could be somebody who is renovating home, for example, or doing things within the house within the timescale set. Then we have finances. Ooh, look at this. Wealth. Interesting. Inheritance. I'm pulling them all over because we have direction cards in Kipper so that we can see what the full story is. And lottery, what's going to come into you. Ooh, good outcome. So in the 2-year period, we can actually see that there are financial contracts going to be seen within the time scale. We can see a move from rich girl and inheritance. So it's almost like rather than something or inheritance coming in, we have more of a spendthrift situation. But that changes into a more solidified finances with the marriage card. And it could be, for example, putting your money into the house or putting your money into even business, but actually securing your money rather than spending so much. So if you have been a little bit loose with the money over the last couple of years, then moving into the coming 2 years, you're going to see a move from that. It's a really smooth, gradual move into a really solidified place of finances, work, projects, etc. Everything coming together in a real solid fashion. So then we look on to love. And in love, we have court official, and he's a connector card. And he connects from the side into our relationships. And we have child. And as we know that you have one child with the child card there, we can suggest that when it comes to relationships that you, like many other moms in the world, the relationship with the child is of utmost importance to you. With court official in the mix, in love, we could see that child in the coming two years, which we can lay extra cards on, of course. Child in the coming 2 years isn't feeling as settled as they would usually be. We have family here. Sad news within the family. So we'll see what that's affecting. It's affecting child 1 and convene. So if we take this as your son or daughter is not feeling as settled as they have in the coming 2 years, that they are struggling a little bit with maybe their social circle, or just actually being and living their own life, they may need some help from mum in the coming 2 years. Friends, dishonesty in friends. So if you wanted to know, for example, what this dishonesty is about regarding your circle of friends, put it in the comments, Christina, and we'll lay extra cards on that. Health is letter. It's a very neutral card, so nothing to worry about. We have well-being and we have a theft, so it's actually taking from the letter here. Let's see what's going to be lost. Money. So if we take this as your well-being and health, etc., and theft is stealing from letter and giving to win lots, it could be, you know, we said that you're moving into a really stable sense of finances. However, there will be parts of that with win lots in the mix and theft next to it that if you are investing, for example, because we have cards to suggest investing, that you're investing quite a large chunk of what you have in savings. Let me just check down. He's 5, oh bless him. I know exactly what that's like, having a 5-year-old and then 6 and going into primary school. It is a whole new set of friends. It's a whole new experience. We'll lay extra cards on the dishonesty in a second. Let's have a look at the unexpected. Interesting. Now, there are a few ways that we can take this, and obviously we'll lay extra cards on the friends to make sure it's not connected, but it actually looks like there are some really smart decisions coming up for you in the coming 2 years. With child as well, if you are choosing a school that they are going to, for example, you will be choosing the right one. You will actually, once a child is settled, you will become settled too. And also, if we take this in relation to the workplace as well, and his thoughts, there's actually lots of plans going on in your direction. I would suggest that if you said you're working from home, I would suggest, if you're not self-employed already, that you will be looking for self-employed status and actually finding your own way of business going forward. If you already have your own business, then it's very much solidifying that business and actually starting to make revenue and starting to really, from if it was a sideline and then becomes major, really starting to solidify that into a solid future for you business-wise. So let's have a look at friends. So what's this dishonesty with friends? Well, it's nothing that I would worry about too much, actually. We've got hot gate water, we've got unexpected money, and we've got prison. If we we all live in COVID times, and we all live in a situation where we can't see as many people as we wanted to. We can't travel as much as we wanted to. We're very much hemmed in our experiences of prison. So I think you just don't have the time to spend with as many friends as you would like to in the coming 2 years, because you've got all these plans going on. I mean, you've got with his thoughts at the top and this business down on that solid business foundation. You have got something to grow. I would even go as far as an empire to grow within 2 years. And if you haven't had the idea already, it's going to be coming to you very soon, because as soon as your kids start school, you are going to be in a place to focus a little bit on your plans for the future, your long-term goals for the future, and really form a foundation of what that's going to be. With hubby, we have some gloomy thoughts and sorrow, which may reflect if you are putting so much effort into work, etc., that it is a little bit hard for him. And with you, we have fatality and good gent, which is an interesting combo. I would lay extras on this to rule out a few situations. We know from the unexpected cards that it's all good. So the fatality falling in front of main character actually shows me that it's all good, but there is a major ending coming, and it's connected to good gent. Ooh. There's long-term offers coming your way. You may, at some stage, the position that you're in, that may actually end through your own. You are forcing this ending. You are creating this ending. Because there are offers coming in for long-term, solid long-term. I'm struggling saying positions, because with Rich Gent being at the top and High Honors being at the top, it's very much self-assured. It's very much doing what you want to do. So it's something that you really enjoy doing. And it puts paid to an end to other stuff. And that, as we see with our main character here, some stress. It's like, oh my God, what is she doing? Are they good decisions on work? He's not so sure, but you certainly are. Okay. Let me put myself back on camera. So, Christina, you say you want to be a certified Lenormand Kipper reader. Absolutely. What I would suggest is, because it shows the whole 2 years, I would suggest that when you start finding what you really enjoy to do, that is going to take you on a more self-assured journey, in which you will actually start thinking, well, I could actually make some money from this. I could actually support myself through this and support myself forward, which then comes into business and creating your own self-sufficiency, your own, reading cards. If that's what you want to do, then becoming a professional reader, for example. Does anyone have any questions on that? Sorry, I was in reading mode and off. Does anybody have any questions on the spread? Any questions on how we apply timing, for example, on how it applies to other system? Anything at all? If you have any questions, put them in. If you don't, I will leave it at that, because Jane is on next, and she is teaching sigils, and I need to tidy it up a little bit before Jane starts. Where would you place the third or fourth child? If I had 3 children, I would put 2 cards to represent 2 children in one spot. So I do child 1 plus child 2 on top, then child 3 plus child 4 on the next one. So you cover everybody. No questions. Cool. It is a handout. It's in the group and it's in the guides. So if you just look out for this photo in guides, and you can just print it out. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the comments of Jane's, who is on at 5 o'clock. And then I believe we have the amazing Maria on. So I'll be on in the comments on that one too. If you want to try this, post it in group. I'm absolutely around. If you want to tag me in, I'll have a look at your interpretations. Would love to see what your 2-year predictions are. And I'll see you at the rest of the event. And don't forget to join members group free of charge so you can watch. Tomorrow I'm actually running through a Lenormand Grand Prix. Yes, the Formula One's on tomorrow as well. But I am running through a Lenormand GT, a Kipper GT tomorrow on 12 months predictions. See you later.